everyone. Round two. Hope you're doing really well and not too hot. Hopefully you're in a nice air-conditioned space as well, unlike me, who I need all the windows open to keep the circulation. But welcome to the next episode of the real-time behind the scenes of running a business. So what it's like on a day-to-day basis, rather than always reflecting on how we did it or previous events. This is all about like the nitty-gritty details, challenges, ups, downs, highs, lows, and the impact it can have on your mental health of day-to-day running a business. So today I have the pleasure of talking to Kathryn, who's the founder of Doughlicious. So I'm going to add her in, but I'm really excited for this conversation. It's always great to hear from like-minded food brands especially, and discuss people don't tend to always see on Instagram, social media, and even voice. So, hi!
Oh my gosh! It goes like I let everybody else do everything on Instagram, and then when I'm faced with these challenges, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And then suddenly you hear it and you're like, I don't know what to do.
Anyway, finally managed to get it done. So thanks for waiting.
No, not at all. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to talk to you and delve into what it's like to run a business, all the little daily realities that I don't think are really seen or typically talked about, especially on Instagram and social media. So it's such a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it is crazy, and I don't think everybody knows that what goes into a day in the life of a brand. And then also, especially like we're a little different because we manufacture here too.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our factory. So every day it could start off as like, pallets coming in, going out, machinery, things break, different people to fix them, the size of the trays to packaging. Like there's just so many things that aren't exciting, where love of creating. And so Dochi, those are the exciting things and the things I love, but all those other things, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Well, so if you don't mind starting off by just explaining what inspired you to launch Doughlicious, a bit about your history and just where the brand is from there up to date.
Yeah. Well, I started Doughlicious because I am just a sweets lover. I love donuts, cookies, cakes, and I'm actually like the most picky. Like, don't ever try to buy a birthday cake for me because about cake, the texture, the flavor, the oils used, so the fats, how it works together. And actually, I think my husband thinks when my birthday arrives, it's his worst nightmare. Like, what do I get her? So when we moved to the UK about 15 years ago, a friend of mine said, can you just make a great chocolate chip cookie? And so I decided to make her some, and I was going to ball them, put them in a bag, and give them to her to serve with her family. But I was going to make them healthier. So use oat flours, unrefined sugars. I tried all the coconut to the date syrups to everything that would be healthier, better for you. And so made some, put them in a baggie. She baked them off, and people started saying, oh my God, I love this cookie. It tastes so Moorish. It tastes healthy. It's not just full of white flour. So she started serving them at parties. And then it just started to go from one place to the next. And before I knew it, I had a kitchen in Battersea making them for us, because I literally got carpal tunnel in my hand from holding the bowl and balling so many cookie dough pucks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, insane. And then we were so fortunate. I decided, okay, go big or go home. Put it in the specialty fine food show, and everybody loved it. So Whole Foods, Planet Organic, and then just grew and grew to the point that I never thought we would have our own factory and producing probably about from 400 to 500 cookie dough pucks a day. Dochi runs a little slower on the machines just because the ice cream needs to be put in with the dough. So that's probably about 200 a minute.
Wow. That is incredible. And even that growth, like you say, is just going from, can you make a cake for a party and then turning into a huge business.
I know, it's crazy. Like, and I still love to make cakes. I just don't have as much time.
And so going back, so 15 years ago is, yeah, when you first came and thought this could work. Do you think you are where you thought you would be in 2022 now with the brand?
Probably further. Like I never thought, like every day is kind of like a wow moment. Especially when I am over at the factory and spending time there. It's like, wow, I can't believe. I mean, I never thought I would own machines that were so complicated, and the learning curve was crazy, but that I've actually been able to embrace it. It's, yeah, no, it's crazy. I think every day is like, wow, here I go again, but it's exciting.
And that is, I was gonna say, so how did you actually start with creating your own factory? What is that process?
Yeah, so I contract manufactured for a little while, and then I just wasn't happy with the quality. And all my friends and my family know me as I'm super like I'm specific about things. Like they'll be like, "What's your favorite color?" I'm like, "White." White. Well, because white can become any other color, but it's so perfect. So I do like I am kind of one of those picky people that like things a certain way. So the first time we had a contract manufacturer, I just found too many faults. Like I was like, okay, this could have been done better. Why was this done? So that thing I think led us to go to a smaller factory. We rented out space in a large bakery in Walthamstow. And then we brought in machines, started doing our own, and then grew out of that, then moved to another smaller factory, which was our own. And then now we're in our current one, which is about square feet.
Gosh. And so is what's your main responsibility? Like, do you like the manufacturing side, or do you work more on the like everyday business, logistics, social media? What's your role?
No, I love the manufacturing side. So now we have a great team. So we've hired fantastic team for sales, which is Amy. Amy, you want to say hi? Amy's over. Yeah.
Hi, Abby.
So we're so lucky to have Amy. She heads up sales and she does a great job. And then she has some other girls that work with her. And then I'm sure most of you have seen Ro she does all of our content creation. And sadly, Ro is leaving us soon. So you'll see a new face on Instagram, moving into doing more chefing. So she's sad to leave, but knows it's the right career path for go. And then Jada does our brand development, collabs, and yeah. So we're like my time is spent more kind of like overseeing and mainly probably more factory manufacturing side now. I love the marketing, but it's just I think in the sales. But we have such a good. I feel happy with the people running that, so I don't have to do so much.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And if you don't mind me delving in a little bit deeper then into let's say the manufacturing process, what's your, like, have you seen some ups and downs with that? Is it still quite challenging to manage?
From what, like a perspective like staffing or, yeah,
Anything from product creation or, so like, for example, I know that with manufacturing, there's always that, like you said, sometimes if the texture's not right, it's suddenly, okay, we need to make sure that this doesn't go to our customers because you want it to be the perfect end goal. But also I know that sometimes it is hard to control everything when it's such it's a lengthy process. So
yeah, I think I feel good about everything that comes out. Like in our factory, I feel really good about the product that's made and the quality. We literally bake a cookie from every batch. And so at the end of the day, it's like a cookie fest, everybody, because there's so many cookies. But they're all eaten at the end of the day. So even the people that work in the factory, they all go into the kitchen. So the quality is always spot on. I think what I worry about the most is once it leaves us. So we have trucks come that'll pick it up and everything starts a frozen supply chain. So once it leaves us, I worry. Like I constantly worry, like, is it getting there? Is the truck cold enough? Will it be delivered on time? What if it's not delivered? And we had an issue today. So we had ice cream coming in to a different facility, and the book-in time wasn't right. So I was stressing, like, oh my God, where's the ice cream going to go? Like, what's going to happen to the ice cream? Finally, the driver told the the freezer place. I don't want to say names because I don't, but said, okay, if I'm literally running out of petrol, so I have to leave this, or I'm going to be spending the night in your bay. So they let him unload, which thank goodness. So then our ice cream will arrive on time. But it's just stressful. It's stressful logistics part.
And I completely agree with that, actually. I think logistics is one of the hardest things to manage. And it's very time consuming when you're the middleman, like you said, because as soon as it leaves your hands, although it's not physically your responsibility, if you get any customer coming back to you, if you get a retailer coming back to you saying something, any customer that has something to say, it does come back to you to be able to trace back what's gone wrong and what's happened.
Right.
But also, like you said, the worry, it's horrible feeling to think, I don't know what went wrong.
Right. And I mean, I'm very personally affected by it too. Like, I feel like, oh my God, what could I have done differently? All of our online orders are dispatched out of a place outside of London, and they have the dry ice, so they send it all frozen with the ice cream. But a lot of times, like, customers get their order and they're like, okay, it was all defrosted. This is what our dochi looked like. And I feel so bad. Like, I'm like, okay. And I'll sometimes send a message saying, what can we do to make you happy? Like, how can we make this better? Because I want the customer to have.
Oh, sorry, your sound's just cut out a little bit. Oh,
Sorry about that.
oh, you're back.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
anyway, I take it when, yeah, when the customer doesn't have the perfect experience, I take it quite personally.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Customer satisfaction, I think at the end of the day, is one of the most crucial, important things because you made it for them. You want them to be as happy as you were / are when you eat it, consume it, and receive it. So it is difficult to turn off that personal side when it is born from you, like it is your brand. So I was gonna say, so from that, would you say, whilst running the business, has it had any impact on like your mental health? Has it had any like ups and downs or?
No, I mean, one thing that's really cool is, and it wasn't because I was running a business. I mean, it's just bad luck, I guess. But we have launched our Coppa Feel, which our pack of strawberry Eton mess, which all the 50% of all net profits go to Coppa Feel, which is a breast cancer charity. And their ethos is built on awareness. So 3 years ago, I had got breast cancer, but I'm fine, and I caught it early. And I think that actually having Doughlicious was a lifesaver because I didn't have time to think like, oh my God, woe is me, or, why did this happen? I was like, okay, I'm just going to deal with it, take it on. And, it's what, like, I was dealt with that card, and
That's really inspiring. Thank you for sharing that.
Let me show you guys. Really cute.
Don't know where she's gone either.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, amazing.
We've got the little boobs on it, and it's so fantastic. And then if you scan the QR code, it talks about my story and the Coppa Feel, which is the charity.
That is incredible. That is, I bet you feel so proud of that, because that is such an achievement. And also that is so nice that you can link it to your personal story and you share that with your customers. That's lovely.
Yeah, and we've had so many people reach out to us. It's crazy, like, how people can relate, and the women that have told us their stories and they're like, how can we help? How can we make a difference through your brand? It literally brings tears to me. Like, it's really, really emotionally impacting.
And it's true, like what you said, as soon as you open up about something, other people suddenly feel that space to think, I can talk as well. Like I can share my experience. Like you're not alone. Everyone has this community to be able to talk about things.
Yeah. I saw a woman this last weekend and she said, you know, when I saw your video, I actually went and I felt my breasts and I squeezed them. And I was like, amazing. You know, and if that's what people can do, like if it's a pack of doji, which is so simple, but can make somebody think about something so big, life impacting, then hey, why not? Right.
Yeah.
It's an easy thing for us to do.
Definitely. And that is, like you said, it's such an important message to spread it anyway. So it's really, that's amazing. That's really great. Actually, that leads quite nicely into the next next question. So talking of like incredible highs and lows, as we both probably know, running a business does come with its severe roller coaster journey. Could you share with the viewers from this week maybe a high and a low that you've experienced, just to tap into that kind of like reality, real-time effect?
So today's Wednesday. So
that's true, actually. I would say you can.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday I was a speaker at Bread and Jam Festival. So I was on a panel and I did not know the other two girls next to me, but I met two other people that were fantastic. So Olivia from Trip Drinks, who was great. And just hearing, you know, sometimes like we live in our own little bubbles. So hearing their story was really cool too. And how they've grown their businesses. And it was Mia from a keto cake company. And so it was really interesting to hear like why she started that. Oh, and why Olivia started Trip Drinks. Like it's just, it's nice to hear other people's stories. That was a high. And probably the low would have been just a couple minutes ago when the ice cream arrived and they weren't going to let him deliver it. I was like, what? So.
No, that is understandable. I mean, especially in this weather. I mean, worst time to not have a ready freezer.
Well, at least it happened today and not yesterday, because yesterday, yeah.
It would have been before it even arrived.
So those are not too bad. I mean, you know, a good high, not too bad of a low.
Yeah, and like you said, I think it is also important to have people around you, because I think it can be really lonely. Like I say that on myself, but because like I work alone and it's difficult, like it is hard, I think. And that's why these conversations, even like having you today, is so nice, because you talk to such a range of different brands and people, but you all have that same like passion, and you're all doing the same thing but in a different way. And just hearing other people's stories is really inspiring, and also I think can help other people to like think of their own ideas as well, and who are just starting out on their journey, even to take something away.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and we're so fortunate. I have a great team. So we, strangely, we're all women, which maybe that's like, I don't even know if at this point, we can let a man in, maybe. We'll think about it, but just in this side of the office. So this is marketing. And just, we all we get along. It's really nice. You know, we hanker down and get into the work, but then we also like, we'll kind of, somebody will say something and then we'll start chatting. And then I'm like, work again.
That's nice that when you had that community vibe though, that connection of bringing you all together. And I'm sure guys would need to be heavily vetted before they go in.
Totally. And hey, we've always got cookies in the office. So what is more exciting than cookies?
Exactly. I mean, you can tempt so many people. So with going back to like advice and what you would say to other maybe small businesses or people starting out, what would you say is the most important advice that you kind of wish maybe someone would given to you at the start, or even now, what you still feel like would be relevant?
I think just, you know, if you're passionate, then just keep that passion flowing, because that will get you further. Don't ever get disappointed. You know, not everybody's going to love your product. But if you have that passion and you know that it's strong and different, then you'll succeed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
how do you, oh, sorry.
that's okay.
I was going to say, how do you deal with things like what you just said? If a customer doesn't like your product, how do you deal with that? But also on the other side, when you do experience maybe a buyer's got in touch and it's really exciting, what are your two kind of like methods for celebration, but also dealing with challenges? What's your go-to methods?
Oh, go-to methods for celebration?
Yeah, celebration, and then yeah, dealing with a lower challenge.
Oh, celebration champagne. um, yeah, like I always like a good bubbly, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, just being happy, I guess, overall, that we're moving forward. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when a customer doesn't like our product, you know what? No, realizing that everybody doesn't like everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like, and you know what? I think we're very lucky that it's harder to compliment than to criticize.
Mm-hmm.
Criticism's easy, right? We're always complaining. That's culture to be like, oh, this was this, that was that. Like and I realize like that's the way people talk a lot. But we get so many nice emails from people saying, oh my gosh, it's great. My 90-year-old dad can now bake a cookie for his friends. Or you've made my day because every day at tea I bake one cookie. I mean, we got an email from a guy the other day that just saying bought it at Costco, and he's like, I just wanted to tell you, like, I just love your cookies. Thank you so much. Like, and to go out of their way and to say those or write a Google review, I mean, one goes so far, and just because people are time poor and people don't think that way. So just those little things count.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say to everybody too, like, if you really like something, let people know,
Yeah.
because we are a complaining culture, and we should all try to be more positive.
I totally agree. Like I also think the impact someone's words has on a business is incremental, and I feel exactly the same. If I now try something and I like it, I need to let them know, because I think I would love someone to do the same to me.
Oh
Because
yeah,
leaving a message just saying love it, you just think, oh yes, something like, yes, that is exactly what you wanted to hear from a
yeah,
customer. So it
right.
makes such a difference.
Yeah, sometimes like on the supermarkets too, um, people will write just things that you're like, huh? Like, and I don't even know, sometimes you don't even know, like the mean ones, you don't know why they write them. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
also, you just got to brush it off. Like you have to
Yeah.
realize you're not everybody's cup of tea, but
Mm-hmm.
it is.
It's true, like what you said, everyone has their own personal taste buds, so everything is subjective. And I think that's why, a food product, I think generally is one of the hardest industries to be in, because it's very, I don't like it or I like it. But at the same time, it's that passion for flavor. And if you put that passion in, you're going to create the best product you can, because it's
Right.
all born out of love.
Well, and with our cookie dough, it's interesting because the dochi is already like a finished product, so that's easy. Like you just take, unless it's melted, it's fantastic. You just take it, you eat it. But the cookie dough, it all depends on the person's oven, um, whether it was baked from frozen, from chilled, and a lot of people turn their oven on automatically to 180, which oh my gosh, the package says 160, 165, depending on the flavor. So then they'll bake it for this certain amount of time. And they're like, oh my gosh, it was hard and we burnt it. I'm like, but there's
Mm.
variables that can come into it with people's ovens. So it's really difficult. So for people, especially to compliment us on the cookies, which we get a lot of, it means a lot, because not everybody always cooks everything the right way or perfectly, because of not because of them, but just the ovens.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, factors out of your control. So
Yeah,
hard. Yeah.
I know. Whenever we send anything for great taste, I'm like, oh no, please, please, please
Oh
have
yeah.
it right, because they could bake it and burn it so easily. I mean, sometimes things are like 1 minute off,
Mm.
and from crispy on the outside, gooey on the inside, to not so gooey.
Mm. No, no, I mean, I once met someone who was on as a panel, like on the panel for Great Taste, and they were quite shocked, because they were like, "Oh, I've been chosen for chocolate." And they were like, "But I don't actually like chocolate." And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, that worries me, because then what if someone is sat and they don't like nut butter and they get nut butter? I was like, oh my goodness, it's there's no hope.
And a nut allergy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, like, awful. In fact, whenever I'm sampling and people are like, oh, I'm allergic to nuts, I'm like, stay away. I'm like, don't come anywhere closer. And they're like, no, I'm fine. But I'm like, no, I'm nervous.
I know. Well, I had to discontinue our peanut butter cookie because of just peanut allergies. And we working with some big supermarkets, there was just too much risk. So we had, yeah, we still have nuts, some nuts in the factory, almond because of a couple cookies, but yeah, the peanuts were just too much for us to take on. So well done, because I know it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, I think I find it the hardest when, a bit like what you said, it's a factor out of my control, but people might skim over the ingredients and then they complain because they didn't realize there was something in it. But they say, like, I didn't state it. And I find it really challenging, because I'm like, oh, I would have told you had you asked. Like, there's almonds in it or something, but then I'm like, I don't like that the customer didn't have a happy experience because they felt misled. But it's
right.
You know what I mean? There's always that hard balance between
I know
how you can resolve something.
Yeah. Well, and we all want the customer to be happy. I mean, that's why we created these brands, to make people happy and just enjoy something so simple but delicious.
Completely. And I feel like I know what the answer is going to be to this, but would you say overall, from start to finish and all of the in-betweens of getting to where you are, does running a business make you happy?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it is, like, it's those customer comments that are positive and happy that make my day. Like, one, if I'll get one on the weekend, I'll just be like, oh, yay, it's just so nice, just to hear people loving our product.
Yeah, no, that is really nice. And let's say you did have a day where you woke up and you just felt a bit out of sorts, you don't really feel that motivated. What would turn it around for you?
You want me to show you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to show, but yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were going to give me a hug. No, I'm going to show you our office mascot.
I actually wasn't expecting that, but hello.
This is Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
That's a motivator right there. Swap the cookies for cuddles and then you're good to go.
Yeah, I know. He's our little office mascot, my baby.
It's nice he can be there with you.
Yeah, so this is the happiness factor. But everybody loves him in the office, and he loves with all the girls.
Yeah, he'll probably be the one to be like, no boys allowed. And then finally, so as you probably know, social media does tend to highlight success and all like the positives of what happens in our day-to-day lives, personal as well as professional. If all of that was to go away, do you today feel like a successful person?
Yeah, I think so. That's a tough question. I mean, there's so much more I want to do in life, but I feel like what we've achieved is great, and it's a good point, a good medium point. There's so much to go, but where we are now is we're happy.
Great. That is
life
here.
Yeah, life is definitely good.
Oh no, that's really good to hear. But I think this has been really, really great chat. I've really enjoyed it. And I've just loved having you on. It's been so nice to hear more about your brand and setting it up and just to delve more into what it's really like. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it too.
No, I've loved it. And I love your product, and we should definitely, we should do more things together.
Definitely. And I was saying, congratulations on your limited edition for Copperfield. I think that's brilliant and just so nice. It's so personal to you.
We can put it with a nut butter and it'd be like peanut butter and strawberry.
Oh my gosh, it would.
We should see about doing a fun collab.
Oh my god, yeah. Watch this space, people.
Creative.
But yeah, thank you again. I really appreciate you joining. I appreciate everyone as well watching. I hope you've all enjoyed it and taken something away, if not just enjoyed the conversation. And thank you to Kevin for showing up as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And yeah, we'll speak to you soon.
Okay. All right.
Have
bye.
a nice evening.
Thank you too. Okay. Bye.
Bye.